Why Death on a Friday Afternoon is a must-read. Death on a Friday Afternoon is a book written by the Portuguese philosopher and writer, José Saramago. The book explores the themes of death, religion, and the human condition through Saramago's unique and poetic writing style. In Death on a Friday Afternoon, Saramago examines the role of religion in society, particularly the Christian belief in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on a Friday afternoon. Saramago explores the various interpretations and meanings that can be drawn from this event, and how it has influenced human history and culture. The book also delves into the nature of death, and how our mortality shapes our lives and relationships. Saramago explores the ways in which we cope with the knowledge of our own mortality, and how we find meaning and purpose in life despite the inevitability of death. Throughout the book, Saramago uses his characteristic style of long, flowing sentences and minimal punctuation to create a poetic and meditative tone. His writing invites the reader to contemplate the deeper meaning of life and death, and to consider the complex relationship between faith, mortality, and the human experience. Overall, Death on a Friday Afternoon is a thought-provoking and deeply philosophical book that explores some of the most fundamental questions of human existence. Death on a Friday Afternoon is a book by French philosopher and theologian, François-Xavier Nguyen Van Thuan. In the book, Van Thuan reflects on his experiences as a prisoner of the communist regime in Vietnam, where he was held captive for 13 years, 9 of which were spent in solitary confinement. The book is structured around the 7 last words of Jesus Christ, and Van Thuan uses these words to reflect on the meaning of suffering, the importance of hope, and the power of faith. He also explores the nature of love, forgiveness, and redemption, drawing on his own experiences and his deep knowledge of Christian theology. Throughout the book, Van Thuan emphasizes the need to see suffering not as something to be avoided or overcome, but as an opportunity for growth and transformation. He argues that it is only by embracing our suffering and offering it up to God that we can truly become fully human and fulfill our potential. Death on a Friday Afternoon is a powerful and moving reflection on the nature of faith and the human condition, written by a man who lived through unimaginable suffering and emerged with deep faith and a profound understanding of the meaning of life. A few years ago, I made the terrible mistake of traveling without a book. I was going to Ottawa to visit my daughter. But before I went to her home, I hit the nearest bookstore. At the time, I was leaning toward Catholicism, almost there but not quite there yet. So I went to the religion section hoping to find added inspiration. Most of the books were of the New Age persuasion, written by self-appointed gurus and others. Then one title caught my eye, Death on a Friday Afternoon by the late Father Richard Neuhaus. The cover drew me in too, a stark image of Christ crucified by 17th-century painter Francisco Goya. Father Neuhaus asks his readers to dwell on the 7 last words from the cross. He notes this is perfect reading for Lent. And it truly is, though he explains that it can be read any time of the year because meditating on Christ on the cross is too important to be left only to Holy Week, to only 1 week of the year. Every day of the year is a good day to think more deeply about Good Friday, for Good Friday is the drama of the love by which our every day is sustained. Father Neuhaus, the founder of First Things magazine and a Catholic convert, died in 2009. He left behind a spiritual classic, a book that is so beautifully written that line after line fills the heart with the love of the Lord and deep sorrow all at once. Love for what Jesus did for us, and sorrow for what he suffered. As a person who has battled pain and illness for years, this book comforted me in a way no other book has. It made me realize that as a Christian, suffering is a way to peace on the other side of the cross. The Christian way is not one of avoidance but of participation in the suffering of Christ, which encompasses not only our own suffering but the suffering of the whole world. It comforted me, indeed, but thrilled me deep into my soul,